Did you have tickets to a concert and you're still trying to figure out the whole refund situation? Well, you may be helped out by a class action lawsuit that Jay will tell you about coming up. It is Tuesday, April 7th, and this is the Currents Music News. Hey, it's Jade.
And Jay. Lady Gaga is curating an online music festival described as Live Aid style by NPR. The concert's going to be streamed on Saturday, April 18th, and according to NPR, it is designed to celebrate healthcare workers around the globe and to support the UN Foundation's COVID-19 Response Fund. Confirmed performers include, here's a list, Billie Eilish, Lizzo, Paul McCartney, and Stevie Wonder.
That is a list. Nice. I never thought I would agree with the COO of Warner Brothers, but in this strange time, music is the most important, least important thing. In a recent interview with Rolling Stone, the COO of Warner Brothers was talking about the strange time in the music industry, and it is. You would think with everybody being at home that streams would be way up, but in fact, music streaming is down. These aren't spring new release numbers. These are like that time period between Christmas and New Year's sort of numbers. It's down. Also, concerts, in the traditional sense, are pretty much canceled. So a lot of labels are taking a pause and pushing back their releases. I'm looking at you, Lady Gaga, Haim, Margot Price, Sam Smith, just to name a few. But Warner Brothers, they are pushing full stream ahead. And they're doing that with these big releases like Dua Lipa and Party Next Door. And that's because with all of these other labels pushing the brakes, there's this huge, gaping, open opportunity, especially on those streaming services, Apple and Spotify, who are just craving content right now, and so are their listeners. So both of those albums, the Dua Lipa and the Party Next Door, which got kind of an extra bump with this Rihanna vocals on one of the tracks, first time hearing Rihanna's voice in like 3 years. So both of those are way up there, like top 5 in the charts right now. And the COO of Warner Brothers, Tom Carson, said, this is a time when the music industry badly needs hope. And he said, who knows what's going to happen? It probably won't go back to business as usual if you do push these albums back and try and release them in the fall.
We have some legal drama to tell you about today. First up, a huge win for Universal Music. A federal judge has dismissed a lawsuit that was accusing the label of negligence in failing to protect irreplaceable master recordings that were lost in a 2008 fire. The New York Times just published a big report on this fire, and the music world realized, including a lot of artists, just how many master recordings were lost in this fire. So artists including Soundgarden, Hole, Steve Earle, the estate of Tupac Shakur, and an ex-wife of Tom Petty filed suit against Universal. All those signatories had dropped out of the lawsuit by the time of yesterday's ruling. Basically, the federal judge said, here's the thing, with the traditional recording contract, your label owns your masters. You may have made that record, but your label owns that recording. So if they were negligent in allowing the fire to happen, they just lost their own property. Meanwhile, a Wisconsin man named Matthew McMillan has filed a class action lawsuit against StubHub. This is what Jade was mentioning earlier. Matthew McMillan is seeking $5 million in damages over what he says was a massive failure by the ticket reseller to honor its own quote-unquote fan protect guarantee. So the idea is if you buy a ticket through StubHub and the event is canceled, you're supposed to be able to get a refund. But when everything was basically canceled at once, StubHub was unable to honor that guarantee and is offering fans, in many cases, credits instead of outright refunds. And Matthew McMillan says, well, here's what they should have done. They should have hung on to the money that people paid them to buy tickets until the events actually happened to make sure that they would have the money they needed to refund people if anything happened. Well, we'll see what happens with that. That's the music news for today. We will be back with another installment, so you can like and follow us to be sure to catch that. And you can listen to The Current on the radio, on your smart speaker, on our web stream, on our app, whatever works for you. And click on the comments to let us know what music news stories are meaningful to you right now.
And we decided to end things today by going in a Monday sort of direction. Yes, it's Tuesday. But some days I wake up and I have no idea what it is. So Green Day frontman, I think he kind of feels the same way. He's been doing these things on Monday called the No Fun Mondays online performance series. He's been inviting friends to join him. And on one of the most recent ones, he asked Susanna Hoffs of the Bangles to join him in covering one of their biggest hits, a song that was written by Prince. He gave it to the Bangles and it shot up to the top 5 back in 1986. So yes, it is a Tuesday, but it kind of feels like a Manic Monday.